What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Jump. Recently, Brittany Renner made an appearance on the Just Pearly Things podcast. And of course, some interesting things occurred on that podcast. A lot of revealing truths that most of us who are associated with let's say some of the red pill content or manosphere creators know that's true, right? And this is a stage of Brittany Renner having regret. Okay, I think a lot of the young women who are Instagram models right now, video girls, when they're young and partying and having the time of their life, having a lot of power in the dating world, they're not having any regrets. The regrets come in the 30s, in the 40s, where the phone isn't ringing that much and you've been replaced by a new batch of Instagram models. And now you had time to think about the exchanges and situations. And then you come to realize that, you know what? This isn't all what I thought it would be. And that is what and where Brittany Renner is now. Brittany Renner is there. Okay. Brittany Renner is remorseful of the men that she's dealt with. And she says it in terms of she doesn't know her worth, right? And what I want to do is for this. Manosphere Highlights, shout out to the brother. He's a brother out there, I believe, in Europe. Manosphere Highlights Daily made a really good video on this called Brittany Renner Says Being Damaged Goods Stings, and here's why. Let me play this particular video. Then I'm gonna come back and we'll talk about it.
I have to be honest with myself because I think it's easy to take the cliche route and say like I would do nothing differently. Now, from the wisdom I have acquired, no, I would not change this wisdom for a clean slate. And that's just the God honest truth. But I will say to 20-year-olds, and even to my 20-year-old self, I hate how I allowed myself to just be like used up by men. And that came from a lack of self-worth. I did not understand my value that I was born with. I didn't.
This is Mia Khalifa, fellas. Even though she has a problem with her prawn past, she never changed her name because that name is famous. That name draws a lot of attention. Brittany Renner, Mia Khalifa, Paulina Paraskova, Larsa Pippen, women in general love attention. That's why they do not want to do things differently because they would miss out on all this attention. Their problem is the trade-off because these women feel used because these men didn't love them. They just wanted to and nobody forced them to spread their legs. Let's take it a step further.
And people that I shared my body with, when I think about my list, it's repulsive because they didn't deserve it. But that was an outcome of me discounting my worth. And it's disgusting. I hate even having that spiritual tie in any type of way. But yeah, I would absolutely change sexually how I move around. And not even necessarily because of like the societal outcome. It's more so from my self-worth.
Like, how it makes you like feel.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good.
So guys, you heard that. Shout out to the brother Manosphere Highlights Daily. She says some things that are very powerful. The first thing is, I regret, in so many words, the people that I've messed with because they didn't deserve me. I didn't know my self-worth. Okay? Let me kind of talk about these things because a lot of times in life, how we feel about ourselves isn't what the market feels. You can feel like you're a great quarterback and you deserve to be the highest paid player, but if your completion percentage is 52% and you lose every game almost, you're not that good. All right. And who do you need to be good to? If you're really self-worth, it's good to have self-worth as a person, right? That's the first thing. Because I always would like to use Reverend C.L. Franklin's great saying. First, believe in God, then believe in yourself, right? So it's good to believe in yourself. Then the third is, then to the people you want to be around, you got to prove it to them. What is self-worth? If yourself is not worth anything to the people you're trying to impress, think about it as a man, right? I'm a man. You know what? I'm not doing anything for these women. I know my self-worth. What does it matter if you're not bringing resources as a man? What does it matter if you're not masculine, if you're not a leader, if you have no value to the opposite sex, to a community? It doesn't mean anything. You don't have any impact. And so many women out here always talk about self-worth without what is the impact? Same thing with the men. We can talk about self-worth, but what is our impact to who we're trying to be around? Self-worth it's make-believe. Yeah, you can have self-respect, but it has to be based on something. Like when we have the US dollar and we give you $50, it's a piece of paper, but it has to be tied to something for it to be worth something, right? And that's the same thing with the self-worth. The reality is, Brittany, you never felt that you need to be able to do something for a man. And Minister Highlights Daily said the same thing. You never had to work on the qualities that would make you a wife. And here's something that a lot of ladies need to understand. If you want to be valuable to the opposite sex, it requires that you do something. Just like it requires you, if you want to have a good looking body, some of us have it more naturally than others, but it requires that you eat a certain way. It requires you work out. It requires you lift weights. It requires you you exercise, even on the days that you don't want to exercise. You got to be there at the gym, right? You have to do something to get those goals. And in the business world, want to be in the business, want to have money? Listen, guy, it's going to require you that you do something. It's going to require that you're always doing something to invest in your business, to understand your business, to be dedicated in the business. It requires that you do something every day, even when you don't like it. And being a good woman or a good man, a good mate to somebody, requires doing things that you don't like. It requires that. You know what? I got to be a good man. My wife's on her period, and she's tripping on me right now. She's not listening to what I'm saying and all of this stuff, and we're going through it. But I'm a man. I'm taking care of my wife today. My kids got an attitude or whatever, and things not going right. But today I'm getting up going to work because I got things I got to do. I'm honoring my commitment every day. And I'm going, even though I don't feel like it, when I come home, I know I'm going to feel better about myself because I'm able to get through adversity. That's what society wants men to do to be able to get a woman. It's no matter what you need to produce. And what we're telling young women is, you don't have to do nothing until you feel like it. And then you get like Brittany Renner and you're 30. And then no guy wants to deal with you. And then your excuse is, I don't know my self-worth. Or should the excuse be that you never tried? Don't blame it on low self-esteem. It's a cop-out. You didn't put in the work, Brittany. Therefore, you never got the kind of guy that you deserve to be with because you never could attract him because of what your efforts. You don't want to change a thing? Don't. Women got to put in the work too, just like men. This is equality. Only men, women's roles are changing ever so much, right? I get it. We have situations in past times, women didn't have as much opportunity. I get it. But men are still required to be the same, regardless, right? So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.